This was, we are live, yay!
That's
Welcome to LadiesCorner with T. I'm excited to introduce Abie Amen. She's a mother of three. She's a registered nurse and an internet safety educator. She joins us tonight to talk about a not-for-profit Internet Face Center, or the iPhase Center. Oh, hello, Miss Amen. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
I have to say that internet safety is on the heart of every parent whose child has an iPad, an Android. Why did you set up this not-for-profit? What was playing in your mind at the time of setup?
Okay, I think you answered the question even right there for me. Internet safety is on the mind of every parent these days, with 1/3 of children being internet users, accounting for the number of internet users, and with children going on YouTube, say at the age of 3 to 4, definitely it's a concern. Right? When it comes to the safety of children and what they can be exposed to, the possibility and the endless dangers that could be out there. Or in as much as the internet benefits us in a lot of ways, there are also a lot of dangers and pitfalls that we do have to watch for our children. So personally, I didn't plan to go into it as a non-for-profit or even to go in as a public kind of a program. It's basically started for me just wanting to protect my own children online. So my son was 6 when I started kind of looking into the matters of internet safety just to protect him. And I realized that the more I dug into the research of how to protect him, I would only do half the protection if all I did was protect my son. After all, he goes and he interacts with other children. So from that point, I started to share my research with parents, other parents, or my friends mostly. And I realized that they too were not in the know. They didn't know what to do with protecting their children online. So I would share my information with them. I realized as I went on, really, this is a very needed information. So I took up the courage to start to educate other parents around me, both friends, family, neighbors, whoever can come across me that way. So that's kind of how it started. So since 2011, this has kind of been on my mind, but it didn't actually become a non-profit organization until the year 2017, August to be precise. So yeah, that's kind of it.
Mm-hmm. It's really good because when my daughter was 2 years old, I wasn't bothered. I could give her the iPad and we could watch Peppa Pig all day. But now that she's turning 11 and she actually understands what's going on, as a parent, you would worry that, there are things I definitely do not want her to stumble across. And I ask you, how dangerous is the internet these days for mothers, for fathers whose children are going on to adolescence, whose children are teenagers? What are the horror stories we need to know? How bad is the internet really?
Yeah. You know what? I hate to demonize the internet, to be quite honest with you. And so I would always kind of want to come from the, positive perspective, all of the endless possibilities that are out there and how internet has come to make our life easier. Look at this interaction that we are having now, for instance. I didn't have to travel all the way to your set to have this done. It's done. It's streamed online. And in the same way, our children benefit from the internet in their schoolwork, in the way in their play, and in their everyday activities and interaction. But having said this, we cannot neglect or oversight the fact that when internet is not used properly, when we don't teach our children the right way to use it, that is when it actually becomes dangerous. Now, I'll answer the question. So, how dangerous is the internet these days? With technology getting better, with more applications coming, with more creations being made online. And not only are these creations increasing, but the accessibility is also easier. Now, a child can access the word via their smartphones. Now, let's look at it this way. Now, the average age in which a child actually gets their first phone is at the age of 10. And also, the average age at which a child first comes across pornography online is also the age of 10. Doesn't that tell us something? Right? And the fact that children are spending an average, according to research, this is not just a number. According to research, children on the average are spending 7 to 9 hours on their phones, excluding school-related activities. And I'll give you another one. 30% of all websites, 30% of all World Wide Web is pornographic in nature. So if a child is spending, let's say, the lower end, 7 hours on the phone, playing game, doing YouTube, doing searches, looking online, so the chances that a child is going to come across pornography is very high. Let's say it's 30% of the time. So 3 out of 10. So definitely the risk is high, the risk is there. It is an obvious risk. The children are not actually searching for, say, pornography or searching for drugs or violence of them, all of the vices that we're talking about. It comes at them. They don't have to search for it. It pops right there on the screen. And children being curious, having that curious mind, which is normal for their age, which is actually healthy for their development, would follow those tips, would follow those pop-ups. And those pop-ups can take them wherever. So the internet is, yes, beneficial in a lot of ways, but if our children are not taught the right way to use it, that's where the problem sets in.
So, what is the right way to use the internet? And I say this because I have one or two friends who get naughty on their phone and then they scream when their children start to see what they should not see. So, in a way, for some parents, some naughty parents, places they go to, you know, they leave traces. They leave how can I put it? Yeah, they leave traces on their phone, and so when the child is maybe playing on the phone, different things pop up. And as a parent, how would you advise parents to take care in this regard? You know, because parents also need their stepping down time or relaxing time, etc. Would you encourage parents, naughty parents, to maybe get another device for their naughtiness and keep the devices that their children use clean? I mean, what's the balance? Should there be a balance? That's that question. And what can we do to make our children feel safe?
Okay.
Mm.
So basically, what parents can do, like you use the word naughty, that makes me laugh, right? And again, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and there are times whereby you know what, we just want to last, we just want to do things. But when we are parents, then we are not only we are now role models. We're not only role models, we are actually an image that our children are constantly watching. So for a parent who know that they also do searches that are not that are not positive or that will not contribute in any way healthy to their child, for that I would say, well, be extremely careful. And I'm not going to tell an adult what an adult should do. But the thing is this, if you don't want your children doing it, then maybe you should not be doing it. Right? Because children are watching what you do. But if you must do it, you have to make sure that you are protecting your child from that exposure. Therefore, if you're saving those kind of information on your gadget, maybe at that point you should use some kind of a secret folder. You know what to do to protect your child. Now, I come from the angle of child protection. So, in that sense, first of all, what we support is role modeling. Role model for your child, because it's hard for you to teach your child what you are not. To be quite honest, yes, you may use those hidden folders, but these kids get smarter and they can get really curious and they can start to wonder what's in the hidden folder. So the kids can go there. So best maybe don't even use the same device as they use it, right? And then how do you teach your children the safest way to use the internet? I think that's the other part of your question. How do you teach them? Uh, the first thing there is discussion. Now I'm kind of veering away from a parent who is naughty to say a parent who is ready to role model. Now that's one I want to talk about. You have to raise these discussions all the time. Now, if we look at we use Facebook a lot. We use all of Facebook accessories such as the WhatsApp, the Instagram, and the Facebook itself. If we look on the safety page, it actually says that parents need to be role models. If you don't want your child spending so and so time on the internet, then you yourself you have to be mindful of how much time you're spending, right? So if you don't want your child watching things such as violence or drugs or porn, then as parents, you have to not do it because you can only hide that information so much if you're doing it. And one day your child is going to catch up with that mom has not been true or dad has not been true to us. So the main key there is role modeling. You role model it, and then you have this constant and frequent discussion with your children, discussing with them what is safe, what is not safe, what your family values are in regards to technology use, what your family values are. So you have to lead that road. Now it is very difficult, especially for us parents who didn't grow up with technology. And to be quite honest, millennials or even the ones before us didn't grow up with this kind of technology that we have. So we are having to learn this new process to help our children to navigate it safely. But in all, the first step there is regular discussion, role modeling. Role modeling. Role modeling is very important. Letting our children know what's right, what is acceptable, what the family values are regarding internet use. That's very important.
You have a backdrop behind you. One of the issues there, discussion issues, is child sexual exploitation. When I
Yeah.
look at that drop down, are those the things you deal with at your center, at the iPhase Center?
Yes, thank you for catching on with that. So we deal with these issues. Child sexual exploitation is definitely a big one in the picture. Which you know, they actually say that since this lockdown, that's an interesting statistics I'm going to share with you. Since the lockdown, child sexual trafficking has increased 800%. Now, online child sexual trafficking has increased at 800%. And where are these traffickers getting their victims? It's online. So we talk a lot about child sexual exploitation, cyberbullying, internet luring. Of course, our main thing is internet safety techniques and how to really protect our children against all of these vices. We also talk about the growing trend, which is cyberbullying as well. So we cover up everything that has to do with child safety on the internet. We cover up most of these areas. Our goal is to be able to empower children, and to be able to create a global children community that are actually good, responsible digital citizens. That's our vision. Yeah.
When I came to Edmonton, I found out that Edmonton has one of the highest rates of is it uh, child sexual exploitation through trafficking.
Mm,
Trafficking was or is grounded in this part of the world, North America. And it shocks me because this is a Christian belt, this area, this
mhm.
province generally. In your work, do you find trafficking? Do you often get to talk to victims of trafficking or parents of trafficked children? And how prevalent is this really in our community? Is this something to worry about at all?
When it comes to trafficking, it's actually not community limited, and I'll tell you, if there are statistics that there's child sexual trafficking, online child sexual trafficking, say in Edmonton, it does not necessarily mean that the perpetrator or the abuser is from Edmonton.
Hmm.
It could be that they have found a channel here in Edmonton that makes it easier for them to get our children into that circle. Because when it comes to child sexual trafficking, it can also be a process. It can be a process of grooming that takes time for the abuser to actually lure the child into their nest and therefore turn them into a child sexual trafficker. For sure, this is an issue that we have to be concerned about. Be concerned about in the sense that it is high. Children are being sexually trafficked right from their bedrooms. They don't have to. The saddest part of online trafficking is the kids don't have to leave their home in order for them to be trafficked. When they send those images over the computer, over their phones, when they send those sex images, when they send those nude images, these can be used for trafficking of their images. For sure, as parents, we should be concerned about this. But however, if we take care of it from the grassroots, which is raising those discussions with our children, not only raising those discussions, making it a frequent topic in the house that you talk about how your child should react to strangers when they come online to ask them for so and so. We really now need to be open about this thing. So empowering our children and preparing our children to be able to react to things such as excuse me, to things such as online trafficking, that would help a lot. Again, it is common in most part of the world now. It is very common. Children are out there. Children are easy to get online, according to pedophiles and sexual abusers. They actually say that they get 65% of their victims online. And I'm sure that statistics is escalated with the COVID and with the stay at home order. I'm sure that statistics is way now more than 65%. So as parents, we do need to be aware of this and to be concerned, and not only to be concerned, to start to educate and empower our children on all of these things so that they can be, better protected, so that when they use the internet, you're using it in a way that is effective and safe for them. Yeah.
The photo behind you, there's a girl there, and I think what she's saying is, "What can you see?" And I'm just wondering, in terms of social media,
Yeah.
how places like TikTok works to maybe sexualize girls or get them in. Do you find that sites like TikTok
Mm.
help traffickers recruit or groom girls and boys? I don't know. What are you finding out? And what does that image actually say? What is the girl seeing?
The image says, "I see your pics. I saw your pics online. So did everyone else.
Right.
So did
Okay.
everyone else." So that's for kids who are sharing, say they are sharing explicit pictures of themselves, nude pictures, Or it may not even be nude pictures. It could be like, silly pictures or goofy pictures that they're not going to be proud of years time, right? Sharing the part of them that they probably would not be proud to connect with it, say in another 5 to 10 years time. So she's saying to her friend, I saw your picture online, so did everyone else. So it's just basically, reminding children to be careful and to be mindful of what they share online, because information posted is information lost. Whatever you put online, it's no longer yours. You don't longer have that ownership to it, because it can be screen grabbed, it can be screenshot, it can be photoshopped, everything can be done to it. Anything possible can be done. So it's just alerting children to be more careful. We also have one about a grandma who says, "Oh, I saw your picture online." So we have all of those posters at our center here. So if you're interested in all of those reasons, which I think we're going to talk about in a moment, we do have all of those in our center. So you asked a question about TikTok and about the social media sites, whether we are finding that to be, say, a venue, right? If
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the yeah. I did mention that 65% of sexual predators, no, not 65, let me quote it correctly. Sexual predators said that they find 65% of their victims on social media. So that's inclusive of TikTok, that's inclusive of Instagram, on Facebook, on Snapchat, on Kicks, on Lively, on whatever, on YouTube even.
Hmm.
Yeah, so definitely those are concerns. Yes, our kids can own social media account at the age now. I say at age say 13 or whatever be the required age that the social media platform has specified. I say that with a clause because as family we have to be careful with that, right? Even though TikTok says, "Oh, you can join us when you're 13, you can own an account when you're 13." Facebook says the same thing. But the question that parents really need to ask themselves is my child ready at 13 to be exposed to the world? Is my child ready even at 14? Now, we're not only seeing children it's not children at 13 that are on Facebook anymore. They actually say by age 12, 50% of kids already own a social media account where the limit of age is 13, right? So these are safety concerns. These are huge platforms where there are billions of users, there are millions of users. And then we have kids on the same platform as well, right? For sure, these are concerns that parents need to be aware about and to be more vigilant as to how their children are using these social media sites. Not only that, to be very watchful about what kind of connections they are making. Watching their connections is very important. What kind of friends are they connecting with? What kind of people are they talking with? What kind of conversation is happening out there? We have to go the extra step. So for parents who cannot, of course, you can always be on your child and looking at what they're doing. You can use software to monitor what they're doing to help them to be more safe. But first of all, it doesn't matter the software you use, discussion. Discussion is number one way to safety.
That is beautiful. I want to ask a final question. So, where can parents find you? Parents maybe want to learn more about how to regulate their children on TikTok or on
Mhm.
Snapchat, especially. These are very, very addictive places that our children spend a lot of time. So,
Mhm.
what can you do for parents as well when they like call your number and they do you do therapy for parents or do you what can you describe what you do at the iPhase Center and where we can get a hold of you when we find our children are addicted to games
Yeah. Okay.
and the internet and things like that?
Wonderful. I'm glad you asked. So when it comes to parent support, we provide resources in form of paper resources, information, like information, of course, on paper, and we also provide electronic resources at the center. Our center isn't drop-in, but we do prefer that you send a text to come in. If you do say have a question about your child being addicted to game or being addicted to, what they now call internet overuse, that is actually now a mental health sickness, a mental health diagnosis. I can't say we don't do a full counseling because I'm not a counselor, I'm an educator. But our plan down the road is to be able to have counselors at the center who are certified counselor counsel you on this. But having said this, I can refer you to places who do this kind of service and they are certified to do counseling when it comes to overuse addiction, technology addiction, and all of that. What we do here at the center here is to say when a parent does come in with a problem, we can educate you and empower you, give you the resources, give you the tools for you to be able to go home and help your child out. We do that. We also educate children. We do direct education of children, teaching them on how to be safe online. So we do that as well. We have resources, we have books that are available to empower family and to inform communities on how we can better protect our children online. Now, the question is, where do you find us? We are on Facebook. We are on some of the social media platforms as well. We are on Facebook by the name iPhase Center, Internet Phase Center on Facebook. And if you just search by my name, you should be able to find my page under my name. Our office is located here in Edmonton. It is on 15397 117 Avenue, Edmonton. I'll repeat that. 15397 117 Avenue. And our phone number is 780 263 1775. So it's 780-263-1775. I'm making sure that I'm coding it right because it's a new number. Okay, so that's where you can find us. And you can also access our website on, of course, www.ifacecenter.ca. So ifacecenter.ca. So that's our website. On our website, you would be able to find resources there as well. So if you do have questions regarding your child use of gadgets and how they access the internet, for sure, give us a call. So from time to time, we do organize classes for parents and for children. And in November, we have a series of classes coming up. We have a digital parenting class and we have a children's Zoom class as well, where we're going to teach children how to, be safe online. Parents will have to sign up for both of these classes for themselves or for their children. And I would also like to add, just before I round up on contacts and connections, and if it's okay, can I talk about the book that we just wrote here at the iPhase Center?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay. Thank you. So we just published this book. It's called He Sounds Like a Good Boy. This book is considered to be a property of the iPhase Center. This book talks about online gaming and the possible risk that children face when they do online gaming. So with this, if you know that your children do online gaming and then they have these conversations with adults that they have no idea who they are, right? This book would be a good buy for your family so that you can have those discussions. I said this book is a starter. You can get your kids to read it and then ask them questions because there's also a question and answer section towards the end of the book. So this book, we offer you, that opportunity to be able to raise these discussions with your children and to be able to prepare them for what kind of activities or what kind of things that can ensue, that can rise up as they do those online gaming and talking to strangers. And also the concept of stranger is also defined in this book. Now that concept is changing. So get this book for your family, for your kids. It's a good one to have, and it's a good learning lesson. The good thing about this book is with every purchase that is made on this book, 25% of its profit is contributed towards developing the programs that we do here. So you are not only empowering your children by buying this book, you're also contributing to the work that we do here in the community. It's only listed for 18.99 right now. This is the hard copy, and the paper copy is 9.99. The price has just been adjusted by our publisher. So you can get it at the center. You can order it on Amazon or on Freezing Press. You can basically just Google it. It sounds like a good boy anywhere you are all over the world, and you'll be able to. You would be connected to a, a, a seller who carries the book. So Amazon for sure, Freezing Press, and you can also find it on our website, or you can drop in at our center. Just give us a call before you come to pick up your own copy, or if you want to order a copy from us as well, we can also find a way to send it down to you wherever you are. As long as you're within Canada, we can be able to send it to you. Or better still, go to Amazon. Thank you very much.
Miss Amen, you are the, I don't know what happened there. Miss Amen, you are the president and the chief educator at the iPhase Center, and you joined us tonight to talk about internet safety. And I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. We hope you join us again soon. All right, then, viewers, we'll see you at 9 o'clock for Focus on Nigeria. Thank you, Miss Abby, so
Thank
much.
you. Thank
Good
you
night,
for
everybody.
having me.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Okay, bye.